Hey, what's up everybody? I'm the Pond Professor here. I am coming to you from an incredible project outside of Columbus, Ohio.
It turned out epic, Ed. You did a great job.
Oh, one I'm standing on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to that top. Came out here with Tony Burnett of Pondscape last year, met with the customer, came up with an incredible design. This is an amazing waterfall feature. We have 150 feet of stream with a series of large cascading waterfalls coming down this incredible slope, going right towards this amazing home. What I love about this design is we have this little ravine system going right through the middle of everything. This is a stormwater management property. All this water comes racing through here, which bisected the property right in half. We want to transform it into a living ecosystem. Beautiful day, incredible tree structure going all the way around. We have a beautiful canvas, and he has done nothing in this area because he knew we were coming in to do the waterfall. So it is a blank slate. Let me take you on a little walk through here. Tony and his team came in, put in a 3,000 gallon reservoir. That reservoir is installed. They did have a few heavy rains and it washed in a bunch of soil around the outside perimeter. Thankfully, he filled up the reservoir with water, so that gives enough ballast. That's going to have enough weight inside of it to keep those aqua blocks from popping up. During those heavy rains, it washed all this silt and sediment around the edge. If that was not filled with water, that material would have migrated underneath that reservoir, which goes down deeper than the bottom of this drainage area. So what happens is we get hydrostatic pressure and it'll push that up and out of the ground. Thankfully that did not happen, because if it did, it would have been setting us back right out of the gate. We have Kyle operating right now. He is coming in and he's digging out the area for the main waterfall. We need a solid area to work with. I'm going to be working just on the back side of those aqua blocks, right where his machine is sitting. That's where actually there's going to be a pooling area. We have a series of different pipes going all the way to the top. So we have 4 3-inch pipes. They're going to operate 4 5,000 to 9,000 adjustable SLD pumps. We are going to be adding in water at different elevations all the way up. We have 2 pipes going to the top, 1 coming into the middle, and then this bottom one is going to come into this lower section. The higher you pump water, the less pumping flow that you will get, and that's because you always have to look at a pump curve. Pump curve is very, very important to understand, because it's going to tell you how much water you're going to get at different elevations as well as distances from the pumping reservoir. It takes a lot of horsepower to put water through a 3-inch pipe. So we have to make sure that we have the desired flow rate down in the bottom. I know it's a lot of different things to think about at this point, but we did talk a little bit about that during the design. Down here in this bottom section is going to be a large waterfall. As you can see, we have about 12 feet of elevation change. So in the bottom 50 feet or so, that's where we have our greatest elevation change. So what Kyle's doing right now is, you see, he's carving into that hillside. So when we're working with heavy equipment, we want to make sure we're stable. But look how he's sitting right now. He's sitting at an angle. My camera is set up basically in a flat plane, and you can see he's sitting back upslope a little bit where it's not quite as steep, but he has that grading blade on the front that's helping to stabilize himself. So what I want to do is dig out the area where that pooling area is going to be. So right down here is going to be the waterfall. A bunch of big rocks here. Right on the back side of that main waterfall, it's going to be a small pond area. This is going to allow all the water from the stream to kind of well up and build up, and it's going to cascade over down into that main reservoir. And this is going to dig a flat ledge. This is going to allow him to take that machine and he could sit level. Makes it a lot safer. We're going to be moving rocks that are many thousands of pounds. And also, I'm going to be down here on the bottom placing those rocks. So I want to make sure he is in a good, stable position. All this soil that's piled up on top weighs thousands of pounds as well. All that pressure is being transferred down into this lower soil area. So we have to be very, very conscious of a slump or a slide or something like that. When his machine is sitting at that angle, all the pressure is on the front of his blade. By digging that out, it's putting the pressure evenly along that entire area. He dug this area out. It looks pretty good. I'm going to come in here with some shovels. We're just going to clean up some of that loose debris. I'm going to put some of our geotextile material inside of here. That's going to help to stabilize the soil. Then we're going to take our rubber membrane, which I'm standing on. This goes underneath that reservoir. It's going to come all the way up, and it's going to line the entire back area of that waterfall. So check out this view from the main deck, looking down on top of all that stuff. We have a low cascade of waterfalls down here in the bottom, transitioning right down into the aqua blocks, and then right above that, that's where we have that big elevation change. we're going to come in with a layer of bigger stuff all in this section here to create really a lot of that sight and sound and the drama that we're looking for. So the idea is to have everything visible from the main home, which is back over on this side. When we are completed, this will be a dramatic transformation here. Waterfall is going to start all the way up over here where the skid steer's operating. Going to kind of twist and turn its way down that hillside. It is day 2 and we made some great progress yesterday. I want to do a little bit of a walkthrough of what we've done. So this is, thankfully, whenever we're designing and building, we are looking for access. One of the first things that we did when we were here, we were checking out how we were going to get over to the construction site. There's actually a large culvert pipe going underneath here. We do have this drainage swale going in, which is creating these elevation changes. So that's a good thing about this. Without this feature down below here, we wouldn't have these massive slopes to work with. There was no turf. This was just all open soil. We don't have to worry about any restoration work, which also makes things very, very easy. But as you can see, we have all these pallets of stone. So we have this beautiful weathered limestone, comes in out of Missouri. We work with Semco stone out of Missouri for this particular material, and this stone is just phenomenal. We've used it on many projects. And here for this southeastern section of Ohio, they do have a lot of sandstone in this area, but this material works very, very well. It has the moss, the lichens. It's a good durable stone. It's going to handle all the winters and everything that they have here. And with all of that material, because it's a porous stone, it does get those mosses and lichens growing on it. And once we get this growing inside the water feature, that stuff is going to continue to spread and just cover all of those stones. Well, chaos continues here on the job site. As always, logistics are a challenge. All the soil that came out of here was staged up on top, but that became a pinch point, so we had to move all the soil to the other side of the property. Now we're bringing it in one bucket load at a time. So Eli is bringing some of these in on smaller buckets, and then we will also bring larger buckets using the skid steer. Pallets are all over the place. We're picking and choosing the rock as we need them. You can see Kyle's got the excavator kind of tucked into this corner just so we can continue doing what we call wing walls. The wing walls are, we have that main waterfall coming in the middle. This is the stuff on a slope of this size. You have to retain all that soil. This is just pure soil. There is nothing on it. But if it rains, all that stuff is going to come down, go into the drainage swale, and it's going to cause problems somewhere downstream. By putting in these wing walls, we're putting in some terraces. Those terraces will be planted, and then there will be some sloping type areas, because otherwise it's going to look like a rock quarry. We don't want that look. We want this to look like kind of a rocky vein that kind of cuts through. The water has worn its way through, exposing all of that bedrock, and then you have lush vegetation around the perimeters. And again, I love when we have that beautiful canopy of trees as the backdrop. Now all we need to do is kind of get in some of that intermediate stuff just to transition down to create all these different little layers. So this is a large pooling area that's going to be cascading down into another large pooling area. What I love about this is just the series of different sized pools kind of coming together. It's not going to be very deep. We also have some stepping stones coming across this little section here. Really looking good. And Aaron has a lot of stuff happening over here, and this is some of the most important stuff, because it's all the things that take care of the edges.
Basically, we're doing a plant pocket here in the middle. We're putting some rock pad in there to keep the soil from going and mixing in with the water, and just finishing up some edges, put some gravel, making everything look nice.
Yeah, exactly. I like what you did with, you have a mixture of soil for plants, and then you also have small chunks of boulders, and then the river rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good. After you're done with this one, you have to do some more foaming, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I'm foaming the rock pad to the rocks.
Okay.
So that the soil doesn't fall into the pond eventually. So it'll lock everything in really nice. Then we're gonna do the bibbing and just making everything watertight so the water goes where we want it.
So the bibbing that you're describing.
So we put up basically a big piece of liner, and then we foamed around the edges. So all the water is going over. We made sure that none of the water is sneaking under. We're not losing any water. Everything is visible. It has more flow and stuff like that.
Once you cover it all back up, all it's gonna look like is that river rock. So that's gonna look awesome. Can't wait to see it. All right, Tim, could could you give us an explanation of what you look for when you're placing boulders?
Yeah, so every type of boulder is different. This is weathered limestone moss rock, so very angular, has a lot of different character seams on it. So you look at the seams, want to make sure they're going the right direction. If you're looking for a spillway stone, obviously you want something that's flat. This doesn't have a flat top, but right now we're looking for one more boulder to finish out our wing wall up on the right. So we're looking for kind of a straight edge. It's going to match up to the one next to it, the right height, so the soil comes up behind it, not too tall, not too short. The name of the game. So the nice thing about this type of boulder is that because it is angular, you can really get close to the edge with your straps. That way it's easy to pull out. So we're finding spots where the strap's going to bite, just like this. It'll bite here, but it's close to the edge, so once we set it in, it should still come out pretty easily.
Now the type of strap you're using is endless loop, right?
Yes, endless loop. You're going to have a cinch point here, so you find your halfway point where you want your lifting to happen. Trying to find the center mass of your rock. Get that set here, and then with the excess end, you pull through, and we haven't set that edge yet over there, but this is essentially how it's going to lift, right like this. You want this right in the center mass.
It is the final day, and of course it rained all night and it rained all morning. It is 12 noon right now. Rain finally stopped and we got everything operational. The problem is Tony and the team are going to have to come back next week to finish up some of the grade work. It's just slop. It is mud. We're losing the machines. They're sliding down the edges. I actually didn't even film anything because it was raining so hard. I didn't want to destroy all my camera equipment. But it is running right now. Obviously little tweaks, aquatic plants, lighting, all that type of stuff has to be done. But I tell you what, looks phenomenal. Check this out. Love it. Over 12 feet tall from the bottom all the way to the top. That view is awesome. Cameron, what do you think?
I think it turned out epic, Ed. You did a great job.
Oh, there's more of the mud. I just said we're slipping all over the place. Massive fall down below, lower sections down here, all craggy, fast moving water racing through over here. We have our upper pool all the way up there on the top. We have stepping stones going across. So many different things, so many different angles. From here all the way up to the top, you can see 8 waterfalls. So one I'm standing on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way to that top. Nice little accent. You've seen me do this a lot of times. Take like 25–30% of the flow, bring it through a little gorge type of an area, then you have that massive flow over here. Huge cascade, nice and wide, everything visible from that incredible home over in the back. We are taking all the different views into consideration. The family room, the kitchen, the master bedroom, the garden room over here by the gazebo. Everything is looking out, including the deck. Everything is coming down to this incredible hillside, and just a home run in my opinion here. This looks incredible. So we got this little stepping stone area coming across over here. Got this cool little carved out section. You walk across right through here. Upper pool, basin down over here, twisting, turning just like our design. Big pool in the middle, split. We're gonna have some plants over in here, which is really gonna be critical. Like I said, very rocky right now. Love the look, but it's gonna take plantings tucked in between all this stuff. Get some vegetation, get some color, get a little bit more height over here in the back to kind of transition down from that canopy to kind of create an intermediary layer. Wow, could not be happier. Operational, love it.